84% of buyers start the purchasing process with a referral. Now, this is according to Forbes. I mean, they start because of a referral, because you built a good relationship either with someone else or through the sales experience themselves. I treated my customers so well that they came back for more or they referred me to someone else. Welcome to the Business Coffee Hour with William Garay Jr., where we take a deep dive into the human side of leadership and entrepreneurship over a cup of coffee. So grab your favorite mug and let's dive right into it because today's topic is sales. Now, here's the thing about sales is it can be like a sticky word. I don't really know why. I don't see why I saw it that way too. But leadership is sales. We're all trying to sell something. I'm trying to motivate you and build this trust, this relationship, so that you can do or get what it is I'm selling. Now, there's like a few folks that I really follow, and I've been doing this for a while, and I try to make sure I bring them up. But like Zig Ziglar, right? He says every sale has five basic obstacles: no need, no money, no hurry, no desire, and no trust. Basically, those are the five basic things that folks will say, this is why I don't need it, right? I don't need it because I don't have a need for it, or I don't need it because I don't have the money for it. I don't need it because it's not in a hurry for it. That can wait, right? There's not enough pressure, or no desire. I don't even want it. And then there's no trust, and it's like the trust part to me. Like, how can they really trust me? Well, you do that by building a relationship because understanding this sales within our leadership realm in this context is really is just building relationships. It's communicating effectively and being able to influence others so that we can achieve this common goal. Now, Jim Rohn said effective communication is 20% what you know and 80% how you feel about what you know. By understanding some of these sales principles, leaders can apply the skills to build trust, motivate their team, and achieve organizational goals. Again, it's not that we're trying to make you into better salesmen. So the sell me this pin trick, right? It's not the features of the pin, right? It's the need of this pin. Like, what is it you need to write? Well, what kind of pin do you want? It's understanding the person. For me, when I've brought folks into the studio or into leadership realms, I try to make sure and understand what is it that motivates them. And I want them to do things that they are good at and want to do. Because if I can help them get there and build that, then they're going to want and really go the extra mile to achieve that common goal. 84% of buyers start the purchasing process with a referral. Now, this is according to Forbes. I mean, they start because of a referral, because you built a good relationship either with someone else or through the sales experience themselves. I treated my customers so well that they came back for more or they referred me to someone else. And it's the same thing in our connections. I try to get a lot more active on LinkedIn, but the relationships I build are face to face or even through Zoom. It's being attentive, it's building that trust, it's being an effective communicator. All things that we have to do when we take into that leadership realm. Leaders build trust, motivate their team, and achieve organizational goals. Now, Gary Vee is a fantastic person that I love to follow. He says, there's no sale without the story, no knockout without the setup. I'm anticipating his next book that's coming out called Jab, 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 Left Hook. He does have a book out there called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And it's about providing value, providing value, providing value, setting it up so that when you do sell or when you've poured so much into the community that when you do have something that you would like to sell or you want to push, that they'll be there for you on the other end. And he's a great example because he does this all the time. And it's what we try to do here within our Charlie Mike community. Because yes, we have a business. but we want to make sure that the story is what matters. Charlie Mike means continue mission. How do we help others continue their mission? By sharing our stories, by sharing ways that we've learned to do that, because not everyone's going to be in that same realm. But through that story, we build relationships, which makes me a better salesman, which makes me more reliable, which puts me in the light of someone that others can trust because I'm vulnerable, because I'm open, because I share that story. You know, that's what the sales process is. It's giving them an actual story of why we should do business together. Why should we be friends together? Why should we hang out together? Why should we partner together to serve our community more? And to develop these sales skills within leadership, it's important to practice active listening, problem solving, and understanding the customer. Am I actually hearing what it is they need? And is it what I have going to solve the problem? And then the last part is, do I really understand them? Can I put myself in their shoes to know that what it is I'm giving isn't just an offer? It's more than that. It's building a bond with this person to know that I'm going to help them achieve, because that's what we get a commission for. Our commission is what we get in the exchange of services. When we provide a service, that's where we make our money. That's where we get our life. That's where what feeds us is when you're providing and when you're serving one another. Now, according to HubSpot, 93% of salespeople say that listening is the most important skill for the sales success. Listening, not the gift of gab, not being able to describe it this way, not knowing all your adjectives, but listening to what the customer wants is the most important skill. By being actively listening to our team members, to our customers, we can take that sales approach and build a better leadership team. We'll be able to understand their needs, provide solutions to meet those needs, to continuously learn and to develop their skills, up my skills as well, because they're telling me what they need from me when I'm listening. Because as we develop these sales skills, it allows us to be more effective leaders. Or as Zig Ziglar has said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. There's plenty of books, there's plenty of webinars and places to start to get better, to learn on how to craft a message, to tell a story. Because you don't tell a story without making a point, but you can't make a point without telling a story, because that's how we learn as humans. We relate all of our things into the story. We can only understand so many numbers before we all get lost. The best way for us to do that is to relate it to a story. And that's why leadership is sales. Effective leadership involves building relationships, communicating effectively, and influencing others towards common goals. By developing these sales skills, leaders build trust, they motivate their team, and they can achieve their organizational goal. Or as Jim Rohn has said, leadership is the challenge to be something more than average. As we grow within our leadership realm, it's important to take a look at those sales skills, because whether you're extroverted or introverted, we operate better when we follow a script. Oftentimes, you'll see when I'm on this show or this podcast, I have a script that I like to go off of. I bullet points, notes that I like to use to understand so that I can make sure that I'm staying on topic because I am extroverted. Being extroverted doesn't mean I'm a great speaker. It just means I get energy from people. Where I tend to lose base is when I go off script, because I can tend to do that. I can tend to just go off script when I'm meeting someone or when I get into a real good flow of things that I want to talk about without understanding what's going on. Introverts are better at following a script, listening to an extrovert talk. The case can be made that introverts are actually better salesmen because they can stick to the script, because they will understand what needs to be said, where they are in the process. Well, me, I feel like if we have a good connection and the flow is going, then that sale is done. But I'll do everything to that point except to ask for that credit card or that sale. And it's happened again. It's knowing your self awareness. It's knowing who you are as a leader. It's knowing who you are in your personality. Don't be afraid to really dig into the sales part of leadership. Because if I'm again, we're trying to cultivate our influence. We're trying to get better within this leadership realm over a cup of coffee. And how do we do that? One way to do that is to make sure that we engage in that sales process. What is it going to take? Am I understanding my customers' needs? Do I understand that I have to listen? That even though I have this gift of gab or that I can carry on a conversation, am I really adding value to this conversation? And on that point, I want to make sure to let you know that I'm out here providing value as much as I can. So be sure to follow me at WGARJR. That's at W Garay Jr. on all my socials. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you dig into that sales process. What I'd like to know is what book do you turn to when it comes to sales? And I'll tell you mine. For me, when I really got into it, like how do I become better at this sales process? Or how do I really become better at this leadership process? It was Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, right? FBI agent, on how we get into the art of negotiation, and a lot of it is empathy. And they call it technical empathy, is what he calls it. But for me, it's like really being empathetic at all times. Can I stay curious in the fact that I'm trying to learn more about my counterpart? So share with me, what is your go-to sales book when somebody tells you, "Hey, I need some help with sales. Where can I turn? What do I do?" For me, that's one of my number one books that I like to recommend. So be sure to follow along with the page. Let us know how we're doing. Leave us a like, a share, a comment, review. Share this with a friend. Tell them to tell me what their favorite sales book is. Uh, I really hope you'll stay tuned and follow along with future episodes. I love you guys.